Welcome again, Sagittarius. It's June 2019, Dadhichi here with your brief synopsis of what's going on in the celestial environment. This is your horoscope for Sagittarius. And irrespective of what I see going on for you, it's nice to affirm once again that the placement of Jupiter, your ruling planet, there in Sagittarius through this period of your life is a very welcome guest. It is welcome because it has a protective influence over many areas of your life. Firstly, your physical health, your love affairs and your creative endeavors, your relationships as well, because it has a full influence here on your 7th house, and also this 9th house, which is your belief systems and philosophy and general luck and fortune. Now, I have to say that I want to cover my backside here, because when we see some of the intense influences that are taking place here, especially in the 2nd house and the 8th house, which have to do with your income, finances, your material values and the shared resources, I want you to know up front that you can relax a little bit, even though it may appear to be fairly intense. Let me just swing this moon around into the new moon phase here, which is lovely because it's got the influence of Jupiter here. It's in your 7th house of relationships, along with the ruler of the 7th house, which is Mercury here, ruling the sign of Gemini. So this is actually quite a nice combination, and it actually gives you a great deal of imagination, and it gives you an opportunity to share ideas with that person who is the most meaningful in your life. So if you're married, it would be your spouse. If it's a business that you're looking at, which could be the case here with all of these strong financial value elements in the horoscope, it could be your business partner. In any case, Jupiter's influence here and the fact that you've got a new moon taking place is a really, really nice combinations for stimulating the relationship, re-engaging that person, and as a result of that, the Jupiter influence can bring a great deal of good fortune or luck. Listen to the ideas, Mercury, that person has, because luck, Jupiter, can bring you emotional moon and professional satisfaction and success. That's also the sun. So this is how we read the horoscope in a nutshell. The new moon influence takes its energy there into this 8th house, shared resources. Now this is a very tense-filled month as far as your finances are concerned, your shared resources are concerned, and also matters of intimacy. Notice the communications planet moves into that area as well around the 6th. So this next few days, you're going to be strongly discussing issues associated with your relationship, with those things that are shared. Intimacy is the sharing of those deeper parts of your nature. But it's interesting that it's also the sharing of finances and money. Actually, I don't think you can have a successful business relationship unless there's that creative connection as well. So yes, money is a very, very important point this month, but sharing your inner feelings and talking about your creative common ground is even more important if you want to get that up and running. Here, the 11th house is profitable, where the moon moves through here, but the 15th and 16th, 14th and 15th rather, is a little bit low key as it moves through the 12th house. It has connection here with Jupiter again, bringing more of that Jupiter energy into the relationships, and then making what I think is a pretty important contact with your south node around the 19th and 20th with this major conjunction finances. Now, if you've been honest, if you've sort of dealt with people with integrity in the past, south node, the past, your karma, south node, Saturn, will be good in this period. You have to be careful not to get into arguments. You also have to understand that there are some temporary losses at this time, Sag, that this is all part of the reconciliation statement of karma, what I call the karmic assets and liabilities column. I suspect that you may be angry about things, especially when moon moves into that opposition to Mars. And going back a little bit, I want to show you that that conjunction of Jupiter on the 17th coincided with a full moon. So again, you see this 8th house stuff strongly coming out as a theme. Moon is ruling this 8th house. Then it goes to that full moon phase and then moves smack bang into the karmic arena here, dealing with all of these other planets. So apart from any negative karma, it does show us, especially with these retrograde planets here, a very deep, careful analysis of what's happened in the past financially. You notice also here when you've got this opposition of Mercury to Saturn, thinking can be very, very laboured. Thinking, Mercury, Saturn, labour or slow. So it slows down all the processes, and that again is not a bad thing. Keep reminding yourself of what I said at the outset of your reading this month. Jupiter is protective, and that deliberate thinking is not a bad thing. You're able to go back over every detail and make sure the decisions you make are completely in keeping with what you expect out of any deal, any negotiation or contract. Speaking of contracts, here we see, if you do that properly, the favourable influence here to Venus from contractual area, 3rd house, to Venus, which is the 11th house of gains, in the 7th house of business partners, should go well. Bear in mind there's a square aspect here to Uranus, which can be sudden or problematic. Notice also Uranus is ruling this 3rd house. 6th house is debt. For some of you, a good deal means putting your money where your mouth is. Debt is not always bad. I've said that on many an occasion. If you want to make money, sometimes you have to spend money. As we move towards the end of the month, there may be some issues on the home front here, both good and bad, a mixed bag, because we have on June 24th this conjunction taking place with Neptune. Idealistic, you're expecting more than family members can give you at that time. So just be realistic. Here, 5th house, creativity is also obstructed. You've got a bit of a depressing or at least an obstructive emotional energy with the square to Saturn and Pluto. You could be a little bit broody, but transform that again with his 8th house squares. The challenges are sometimes useful in helping you come up with unusual and interesting solutions and creative angles. That's also shown by the final aspect of the month here from the Moon to Uranus. Well associated with Saturn here, that trine aspect gives you a stabilising influence, so you can actually take this wild avant-garde energy and flashes of brilliance and channel them through practical, down-to-earth ways. So there it is. Do take a look at what else we've got for you there at astrology.com.au. We've got more on the month, and I always invite you to come and have a more detailed reading with me, because then we can get down to the nitty-gritty, to the deeper, more personal aspects based upon your individual karma. And if you'd like to do that, the welcome is there. The invitation is open. Just drop me a line here. I'll be more than happy to take you up on that. Till next month, take care. Bye-bye.